It's a bad bill because the language in the bill outlaws voter outreach, voter registration, and voter education, as well as personal services that are enacted by nonprofit organizations when they help people like me to register to vote.
The one thing is really fixing a problem that is not real, but the language that's in the bill, if you consider the fact that you really want to be able to properly fund communities and their ability to provide elections properly, then I accept the fact that you do not need to have money coming in from outside of Alabama to these communities to help them do their job. But the word personal services is the real issue. And that's the crux of my concern for how it would affect organizations such as the League of Women Voters, because the word personal services is a catch-all phrase. It basically covers a lot of areas that the League of Women Voters, for example, is we routinely collaborate and work with the election officers all the way from the county up through the state. And we have conversations, we find problems, we work the problems with these different individuals and the members in their offices. And that terminology, when it prohibits the election workers from being able to accept personal services from non-governmental organizations or individuals, that is going to create a reluctance on those public officials and their staff. They're not going to want to work with organizations such as the League of Women Voters, and that's the problem. It has a chilling and damping effect on our ability to serve the people of Alabama like we need to do.
So House Bill 194 stops public election officials from working with organizations like my organization, Vote Everywhere UA at the University of Alabama, from collaborating to make elections work better. So that means that we can't print off registration applications for them, we can't educate voters on behalf of them, we can't work with them in really any of the ways that we do work with them on our campus. We understand the importance of sort of driving out private funding out of elections, but the answer to equity in voter education and registration is by making sure that there's plenty for everyone.
I consider HB 194 to be a bad bill, specifically because of the personal services clause. I do have a problem with the bill as a whole, but that line in particular prevents me from doing a lot of the work that I've done through the Blackburn Institute at the University of Alabama. Our Daniel Community Scholars Group was granted a $5,000 grant to do voter rights restoration with people with former felony convictions in the Tuscaloosa area. And our project basically went to people where they were and helped register them to vote. And eliminating the aspect of personal services for voter education and voter registration would pretty much make our project impossible.
One of the problems with these bills is they're very vague. They're not written very well. The language, when you see the terms personal services, I looked at it for a long time before I started. I thought it seemed kind of an odd terminology, but the more you talked about it, the more you understood what the intent was, then you started realizing that it was actually a direct attack on organizations that are out there trying to help people engage, that are helping the public get ready to vote and be able to participate and vote knowledgeably about the issues that they care about, and that they can help in them be able to learn more about the voting process. So if we don't speak out, which the law has passed the House and the Senate now, it's passed the Senate committee, but if we had not spoken out, this bill would have been passed and we would not have known that it was out there. Now we do know, and the thing that we want people to know and be able to take away from this is that every one of these folks are elected officials. And you need to remember that when you go to the polls. Remember who it was that supports your values and supports you as a citizen and your rights and your family's rights and your children's rights. And if they are not supporting what you hold important, then you need to remember that when you go to the ballots, cast your ballot.
Because I'm a formerly incarcerated individual, and many times we face obstacles that others don't when it comes to getting our right to vote back. There are organizations out there which have helped people like me in the past, and this bill would cast a chill on those efforts across the state. Well, it criminalizes voter outreach, voter education, and voter registration. It stops nonprofit organizations from interacting with government entities in order to assist people like me to register to vote.
So I think the biggest issue is that the bill's very, very vague. And it's not us who would be going to jail, it's the people at the state, which means that they're not going to want to work with us, even if something is illegal or not. I mean, we've just spent so long trying to figure out what this bill even means, we still don't know. We would not be able to do our voting rights restoration work, working with people with prior convictions, work to get their voting rights restored. We also would not be able to hold our tabling events at the university with the Board of Registrars. We won't be able to arrange bus transportation to our polling place and run a unified marketing campaign with the university, something that we're very excited to do as a unified effort for the first time ever. Essentially what our organization does is links state needs to our ability to just sort of fix them, connect some dots, and this blocks the state from being able to use our resources.